Happy New Year, everyone! In this first video of the new year, I want to welcome you to Damagework Designs, the new name for the channel. I'll explain the reason for the change in just a minute, but first I have to talk about what a great first year 2021 was for this humble little channel, and thank all of you who've been watching for the success it's had so far. So my goal last year was to get at least 1,000 followers, and we surpassed that handily sooner than I would have expected, so thank you for that. Let's make this year even better though. My goal for this year is to try and reach at least 10,000 subscribers, and I'm going to need all of your help to get there. Another thing I'm going to do this year is be better about posting to the channel's Instagram account, because I need to start building an audience there too. I really hate posting on there though. It's such a pain for me deciding how I want to show crops of the images, thinking about tags, and coming up with descriptions with keywords and all. Inevitably, I end up deleting the first post or two right away because I forgot something, and I read that it screws up the algorithm to edit a post after you've published it. It's one of those tasks that I'd eventually like to outsource to someone so I don't have to stress about it. Anyway, okay, so let me explain the reason for changing the name of the channel. To do that properly, I'll first need to give you a little history about myself. As I think I may have said in some other videos, my day job is as a commercial photographer, shooting mostly ad work, e-commerce, and lookbooks for designers, as well as some beauty brands. It's challenging and creative work, but not in the same way as digital art. You see, before I was a photographer, I was a professional digital artist, creating artwork and layouts for metal bands and labels, CD album artwork and layouts, t-shirt designs, banners, flyers, and logos, whatever they needed, and I did this under the name of Damagework. The name actually goes back a little further than that even, to when I was in college and I was just showing my work on sites like DeviantArt and MySpace. Yeah, MySpace. I'm old. I needed a cool screen name, and since everything I was doing had a real grungy and distressed look to it during the aughts of the 2000s,
which was the style at the time,
I thought the name Damagework fit the style perfectly. Now this was all just work I was doing for my college classes and in my spare time. After college is when I began to do it professionally. I did it on my own for a while, but eventually I started working with a partner, and when I transitioned away from digital art into photography full-time, she continued doing work under the Damagework name for a number of years. Now, even though she was no longer working as an artist under that name anymore when I started this YouTube channel, I was not yet totally sure what this channel was going to focus on outside of just Photoshop generally, so I tried to come up with a name that could work for all different types of Photoshop-related videos. And I never liked the name Mike M Creative. It's far too generic and just not memorable at all if you ask me. It was really always meant to be a placeholder anyway. In fact, if you go back and watch the first handful of videos I posted to the channel, I made several different intros and used a few different names. Eventually, I just had to settle on something until I figured out what direction the channel was going to go. Well, I finally decided on the direction. See, YouTube has really rekindled my love for creating digital art. Discovering channels like Benny Productions, Phase Runner, Imadawan, and Raffier have been hugely inspirational and shown me ways of using Photoshop that I just didn't know were possible. I've enjoyed so much taking the style of my old work, my perspective as a now older and more experienced artist, and the new techniques and influences I've acquired over the years to create art that I never would have thought myself capable of making just a short time ago. This new artwork is what I want the channel to focus on. It's an excuse for me to create digital artwork again, as well as a place for me to show my process and to hopefully inspire other artists out there in the same way they've inspired me. So I'm going to continue to learn and do my best to make more entertaining and informative videos to share with all of you. Oh, I hit the microphone. If you want to come along on this journey, please be sure to subscribe both here and on Instagram. And if you're interested at all in my photography work, you can follow my photo account on Instagram at Michael Myers Photo. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll be showing you how I made this fantasy artwork inspired by the 1985 fantasy film, Legend.